Prison is a lot about taking your humanity. Restorative justice is first about making the person feel human again.
We haven't warmed up at all.
In choir, you're not viewed as an offender, you're viewed as a person.
In the field of community music, we practice the theory of the welcome and hospitality.
93% of the 8,000 some inmates that are in prison will someday walk out. The real measure of our success isn't what happens on the inside, it's what happens when they go to the outside. Prison life is boring. You might have a menial job that you have to take care of for a few hours, but for the rest of the time, it's just trying to figure out what you're going to do with your day. We all kind of like those days once, but imagine doing that 365 days.
I started out doing prison time in Fort Madison and Anamosa, and they didn't have outside guests or anything. So when I got to Oakdale, a buddy of mine's like, hey man, you should join the choir.
2 years after I got here, the choir started, and it was, I'm not a joiner. I don't join things. And then my buddy Bailey came in and said, all right, you like singing, you're coming down to this.
Choose a pitch, any pitch, and let it sustain.
Half of the choir is made up of outside volunteers and half of the choir is inside.
If you walked by, you wouldn't know which ones of us are incarcerated and which ones of us are leaving in a few hours.
At first, it wasn't for me. I wasn't gonna go, I wasn't going to get into it. But then I met Dr. Cohen, and she encouraged me to at least try songwriters. And wrote a song, and she liked it, and people liked it.
Let's crack the sky. Let's crack the sky.
To write a song, I didn't think I could do that. Singing, I absolutely know I could not do that. And Miss Mary was like, everybody can sing.
I've been researching this for 16 years, and I'm writing a book about music education in prisons. The field of music education is at a place where we want to start to expand how music education can impact human lives in a positive way. The biggest part of this project really is to create communities of caring.
I first came in 2009 when Dr. Mary Cohen began the Oakdale Choir. I learned so much by coming in about the struggles that people go through. Hearing stories is an encouragement to me when I'm discouraged.
I've been in the choir about 8 years. The people that were there, they were my visits. They were my weekly visit. Because I didn't have visits for like 7 years.
It's changed people's perception of what prison is. I got the chance to meet a world-famous choir and sing with them. I got to meet Maggie Wheeler and sing with her and perform one of her songs. And that's all due to Warden McKinney allowing more and more things to come in for rehabilitation and not just punishment.
You have a community that you formed in here. That's a model of what you need to do when you get out.
We kind of have this idea that if they're in prison, they get out, they're going to go off into some far-off land. That's not true. They're going to live next door to somebody. And that somebody might be you, might be me, and it might be my granddaughters. I've just been very fortunate in my career that I've been running a facility since 1985. I've realized that if I treat the guys with respect, I get a lot of it back. And I've never had an issue. What makes people safe is when they learn how to relate to people, to communicate with people, to start thinking about others instead of just themselves.
All right, are we ready, Paul? All right, team. Remember the message. Sing it from your soul.
And for 2 hours on a Tuesday night, nobody thinks they're in prison.
Fast enough?
I knew that I had a life sentence. I knew that this was my life. I could either do the rest of my life in lockup and behind a cell and as an animal, or I could attempt to, try to get my mind right. I came with an open mind, and I wrote maybe 13 songs. It allowed me to be part of something good that was connected with the outside, but also something good that was connected with the inside.
You know, you're in prison, you have life, but the gang life, that's not who you are. And when you come to a camp like this and see the choir and see how open it is, you start to feel human again. This is the first prison I've ever been in where there's more positive going on than negative. And that's a heck of a thing for a prison.